but we have two players. What was the name of the other guy? Herb, I forget his name. The
The two that already
linebacker
signed.
for
Yeah,
I got Jaden Higgins for Iowa State and Schlesinger.
Yep.
linebacker from
Basically,
UCLA
they
is on the
went
Browns.
yeah, they went early second round, and they both signed fully guaranteed deals. So that's the first time in history that they were signed fully guaranteed. And what the reason this is, if you ask a casual, it's like it's not that big of a deal. Maybe the Texans just have faith in Higgins and are fine with giving him a fully guaranteed deal, even though he either might flake out, although he won't because he's from Iowa State.
There it is.
Basically, what this has caused is the other 30 players from the second round to not sign a deal. So it's almost like it's led to a collective holdout, I guess you could say. We saw that with the Bengals earlier is it Shamar Stewart for the Bengals?
Yep,
Holding
Shamar.
out, not
He's
wanting
holding
to
out.
sign his rookie deal.
But he's
But
a
yeah,
first round pick, so he's a little bit different. His
yes,
contract's
that's
already
different.
guaranteed.
That's different.
Yeah.
And obviously the Bengals are just in a bad situation. But now it's just a trickle down effect, because I think Jaden Higgins' contract is almost $12 million, which is $3 million a year, fully guaranteed. I love seeing players get paid, but to fully guarantee a contract now to these teams, 2-3 million here, 2-3 million there is not a big deal. But to have 30 players hold out are we just going to see all the other teams follow suit, and then now it's going to be the new thing? And then what about next year when
What about third round?
for
What
some
about
reason,
sixth round?
yeah, and then it
Are
leads
we going to see
to
fully
the
guaranteed
top four
rookie
rounds.
contracts?
I mean, in the same breath, though, if you're one of those 30 other second round picks, no agent in their right mind, after seeing those two contracts, like, what are they supposed to do? Like, it's like the Deshaun Watson contract with fully guaranteeing that contract for quarterbacks, and we continue to see it now, where somebody set the precedent, and now that's what every single player is going to be fighting for. And they have a point, like, the precedent has been set. Why should I ask for less, especially knowing the injuries associated with football? It's one of the most dangerous sports you can play. There's no guarantee you even get a chance at a second contract. And you might not even make it through your first season. And the rest of that contract that you had signed is gone. It's voided. You're not getting a dime of that, right? So I'm kind of on board with these guys, to be honest with you.
I'm not mad at the
I
players about it. I'm mad at the dumbass GM down in Houston that decided to set this precedent. He didn't have to do the guaranteed. I even wonder if Jaden Higgins came to them and wanted guaranteed, or they just threw it on the table for shits and giggles. That's such a dumb move, and it really screwed this whole thing up. Go ahead, Rob. Let them know.
I did look at a quote. I try to see. I agree with Herb. When I think about it, I think about when a player resets the market when they re-sign a contract, right? Sometimes it's crazy and out of hand. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? And then what happens? All the other teams follow suit. And now a right tackle's worth this much or a left tackle's worth that much. And obviously in every position. But I think I see it from both sides where I think a dumbass decision, keep in mind, love Jaden Higgins. I think a dumbass decision by a GM shouldn't make 30 or 31 other teams be like, you know what? Let's us make a big fucking dumbass decision. I also don't know what the flip side of it is. If they, if they do hold out, I don't know the schematics of it. I just think when you get to these precedents, and I'm all for players' rights and players' money and give them their money, and the NFL makes a shit ton of money. The players deserve some. But not every second round pick turns out to be somebody. And obviously 12 million nowadays in the NFL is not crazy overall. But if a player goes out there and, like Isaiah said, it is a dangerous game, man. We don't know what can happen any play. Blows out his knee, that team's on the books for 12 million. And 12 million isn't really a lot, obviously, with the salary cap pushing 300 million. But I think we're going to see if this does become precedent. Now, second round picks fully guaranteed as well. Because, in some drafts, you see a team, and I mentioned this to Herb earlier, but sometimes you see a team reach. Maybe there's a player that dropped that probably should have been first round, but now they're second going into the third because maybe they had an injury in college or off the field issues, and you see a team reach for that because they know it's not fully guaranteed deal. If anything, they just, use up a draft pick. That kind of wipes that off the board. You draft a second round pick now. It's a guy that you have 100% confidence in. which obviously a team should, but it's just, I'm undecided on it, man. I'm happy for the players. I just don't like the trickle down effect that we see when these things happen. And also, what does the NFL do? Do they talk to this GM and be like, what the fuck are we doing?
What can they do? NFL can't do anything.
They can do a lot behind the scenes, I think,
I
but
definitely don't think they can start manipulating or
no,
dictating
they can't.
player
No
contracts.
No chance.
I feel like that is a lawsuit from the NFLPA. Like, you're just asking for it at that point.
It's just a weird situation all around, man. I just hope it doesn't trickle down to we're seeing 4th-round picks that are at a Bowling Green getting a fucking $10 million deal. I just don't want to. I like the started from the bottom, now we hear type mentality where, like, look at Brock Purdy, for instance, making $700,000 or whatever he made, and he made it. He got paid and it's just a good story. That's all I got to say on the matter. I figure we got to talk about it. I think it's bigger news than what seems to be, but I imagine all these other teams are going to pay it. And then from here on out, we're just going to see 2nd-round picks fully guaranteed.
Yeah, I looked into it, Rob, because I was unaware that was even going on. And I looked it up, and that is the most unsigned players from a specific round, like this far into an off season.
We started OTAs on Monday.
Yeah, these guys are hurting. Like, their development is hurting. You need some of those 2nd-round guys to either play significant minutes, or some of those teams are looking at their guys to
some of these guys are supposed to be starting.
Yeah.
And also, like,
they're hurting.
Rookie minicamp was what, 2 weeks ago? Rookie minicamp was obviously the last few weeks, and we have full-blown vets and everybody showing up this week for OTAs. And, like, this is when you're getting the, I've been watching the tapes, obviously, for the Packers, and you're getting the starter reps out there. You're getting a feel for what your team is building around. And if you got these 2nd-round picks that, whether it's a running back that's probably going to start, that's usually who can start out of the 2nd round, a corner that's probably going to get started, you're just not getting reps. And it's just, whether the holdout's a week or, 2 weeks, a month, I don't know. But I just don't think it's good as of right now. Hopefully it wraps up soon. Either way, whatever it goes. Worst case scenario, we see a player not. Do the agents of those other 30 teams or 30 players, do they form a collective and say, hey, nobody sign a non-fully guaranteed deal? Because if 5 of them sign non-fully guaranteed, then you're looking at the player like, it's not just a 2nd-round thing. I don't know, man. It's weird. Salary cap's all of Fugazi anyway, but it's just a weird fucking situation.
It could get ugly really, really quick. It really, really could.